you from the studios of News Talk 93 FM right here at UWI Mona campus. It is indeed your program as we carry you through until 12.
Jesus taught me how to. Why you don't wake up in the middle? Oh, in the middle of the night. I went me back against the wall. Gotta me no had no friend at all. My Jesus taught me how to pray. Pray, Christian. In the middle. Hey, wave your hand and you do what's in your blade. Push up your hand and you do what's in your blade. Push your hand and you do what's in your blade.
The numbers to call are 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. To listen to us on your smartphones and device, please go to the Apple or Google. Please go to the Apple or Google Play. Well, I'm sorry. To listen to us on your smartphones and device, please go to the Apple or Google Play Store and download the News Talk 93 FM app. We also stream live via www.newstalk93fm.net. To advertise with us, please call our sales agent at 876-427-9955. That's 876-427, yes, 9955. You can also send us an email at our sales department at newstalk93fmsales@gmail.com. Already, we're also up on the Conrad OB TikTok page this morning. And indeed, you can also listen to us via the Make We Talk YouTube channel. That's the Jeffrey Tavares Make We Talk YouTube channel as well. We're there. Let me know, those of you who are joining us on the TikTok feed, if I'm coming through loud and clear. All right? I'm getting a little bit of buzz in my headset. I hope you're not experiencing that at all. But let's see how it goes. This morning, certainly, we will be taking your calls all day. Right? We'll take calls all day. We'll open the phone lines at about 9:35. Of course, we know you have a lot to say. And the hard campaign by way of political rallies and so, that ended last night at 11:59 p.m. And of course, I must tell you that I was really out and about yesterday. Didn't get home until about 2 a.m. this morning because certainly I was in the parish of St. Anne. You know, leave St. Andrew, did a few rounds in St. Andrew, northwest St. Andrew to be exact. And then after that, I journeyed into St. Anne, Runaway Bay, all of those areas, and I spent a lot of time in Ocho Rios yesterday covering a mass meeting there with Dr. Ryan Simpson. Tell you more about that. So welcome to Conrad's Take. There are many things that the electorate has to weigh in the balance to cast their votes tomorrow, and it's going to be interested. It's going to be interested, and this election basically stir a lot of engagement, both from us here and those abroad. The Gleaner will report today about plane loads of orange-clad comrades coming into the country, singing the Blood and Fire comrade song and saying that they are resolute in coming to cast their votes. On the other hand, you had some green-clad supporters who come, but if we're to go by what we have been seeing all over the place, then certainly, you know, it seems as if the PNP had much more persons coming in to cast their vote for them. And I'm talking about what we're able to see publicly, because I can only talk about what we saw or what we're seeing. You know, I don't know if persons come in silently and will be doing their thing, but certainly those who were willing or have been willing to purloin themselves and to show their hands, the PNP seems to be outnumbering the JLP by maybe about 8-1 or so from all indication. So it's going to be interesting to see how will that play out in the ballot box tomorrow. And, you know, both parties had basically thought their stuff in terms of their major rallies and so on. Down there in Senton yesterday, I saw a meeting with Matthew Samuda, and he was in St. Anne's Bay, yes, and then I journeyed to Ocho-Rios, and I can tell you that, you know, what I saw there in Ocho-Rios last night and the motorcade that I saw there put on by Dr. Ryan Simpson, as they call him, Ryan the Lion. And of course, you know, they dubbed Matthew Samuda as the short boss down there. So what I saw there, Northeast St. Anne, is going to be very, very, very interesting election night. One must also take into consideration that the late Shaheen Robinson, and that's why she is mentioned as the late, she is no longer there. And I spoke to persons who would have voted or would have supported Shaheen, and they are now a part of Dr. Ryan Simpson's camp. As a matter of fact, I did some movements around the community, and I talked to two young ladies in particular. Two young ladies, one of them is a student on campus here. She said it's the first time she is going to vote, and she said that, you know, she would be polling her vote for Dr. Simpson because she is certainly not happy with what Matthew is going on with down there. And they talked about attitude problem and so on with Matthew Samuda. I don't know. I don't live there. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. On the other hand, they have a lot of praise for Ryan Simpson. I saw Ryan last night, and I tell you, I believe that the single most energetic and excited candidate, male candidate that I've seen on the platform, on the campaign trail, bar none, from both sides of the divide, it is indeed Dr. Ryan Simpson. He is a man on fire indeed. And I expect that seat to basically, you know, be very interested, as I said. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to be bold. This morning, the second day of September 2025, and call Northeast St. Anne returning to the column of the People's National Party. One will remember that that was a bastion for the People's National Party. The last MP there was Danny Melvin. Of course, the man who has continued to have to carry a lot of respect in the constituency, Manley Boyne. He was on the platform there last night, quite lively himself, still in good neck, in good health and everything. You know, I also saw Carol Jackson there, and just so many of the old stalwart from the People's National Party were out. And indeed, I would not be surprised the PNP carry that seat. As a matter of fact, as I said before, I am calling this one for the People's National Party, Northeastern St. Anne. And by extension, I expect the entire parish, the parish of St. Anne, to be carried heavily for the People's National Party, based on what I'm picking up on the ground there. The people are expressing views that, you know, they are hardly able to make ends meet after 10 years of this Andrew Holness-led administration. And I think they'll be voting with their pocketbook. The fact that they feel that they're worse off now than they were 10 years ago. Also, one of the big things that I'm hearing, and it's interesting because I'm hearing this on so many people's lips, young people, middle-aged, older people across Jamaica, the whole business of corruption and integrity. And they figure more or less that this prime minister is found wanting. And as a result of that, integrity will be on the ballot come tomorrow. And they will be making their fingers speak. On the other hand, as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party, they're not going to be lying down and playing dead. One of the conversations that you hear is that they believe that money, they can use money to sway the people. That is what people are saying to me. But the folks are saying to me as well that, listen, no amount of money is going to sway them this time around. So let's see if that will hold rather. We have to wait until close of play. Tomorrow, close of play will be at 5 o'clock. However, let me hasten to remind our listeners that although the poll closes at 5 o'clock, once you're in the line, you'll be able to cast your vote. So if you get into the line by 5 o'clock, and let's say there's a long line there, the last person that gets into that line at 5 o'clock, you'll be able to poll your votes. But also remind our listeners that you're entitled to 3 hours to go and cast your vote once you start working. What time? There are some time barriers there. I think once you start working at or before 10 o'clock and you go up to 2 o'clock, you're entitled to 3 hours, and and that is not including of your lunch hour. So all told, you have 4 hours that you are by law, you're entitled to ensure that you can go and participate in the democracy and poll your vote. On the other hand, also along the same trajectory, I want to remind you that if you don't have your ID, you can go and vote as well. There will be a few questions asked of you by the presiding officer. but you will be allowed to cast your vote, or you must be allowed to cast your vote once your name is on the voters list and you can satisfy the presiding officer with the question that they ask, and you're also able to, they will ask you to take an oath or to swear, so let's see how people maneuver. But I want to just say to you that if you have your ID, your voter's ID, please walk with your voter's ID, because that will make the process much more smooth and you'll spend less time in the queue. So we're urging you to go out and participate in the democratic process. So far, the special day workers, to include police officers, soldiers, election day worker, the one-day police, and all of those persons, they voted on Friday. And, based on the turnout that we have been having over the last few elections, the turnout wasn't bad at all. We saw 57% turnout on Friday. So if we're to use that as a template, then we could have a reasonable turnout tomorrow. Pollster Dan Anderson says, picking up that we could have as much as a 55% turnout there or thereabout. But he also underpinned his reason to say that although he picks up 55% turnout, you could have a lower turnout than that. But was also argued that practically, both practically and in theory, whenever the numbers seems to go up, it favors the opposition. Will that play through this time around? Should we see those numbers? He also posted and also reminded us yesterday that about 170,000 people had stayed away from the last poll, and based on his finding, about a high 90+% of that would be persons who would have normally supported the People's National Party, and they are indeed back. So if one should go by that, then certainly, the PNP seems as if they will have a good chance tomorrow at the poll. But as I always underpin all my reason that it's not over until the fat ladies sing. That's Conrad Steak. So come, stay with me.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere.
Property owners, pay your property tax arrears now. Visit your nearest tax office, listed Old Harbor and Spanish Town. Pay by cash, debit, or credit card, and take your TRN if you're paying by check. Property tax pays for street lights, garbage collection and disposal, parochial road rehabilitation, and beautification. Contact your tax office or the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation at 876-984-3111 or 984-3112. Avoid legal actions. Pay your property taxes now.
You know the voices. Now relive the moments.
Can I start by asking you a very simple question?
Yes, dear. Make it very simple.
I'm not here yesterday, man, and I'm not trying to come lately.
Already you are building the Jamaica of the future.
We're ready at the University of the West Indies.
This university and the people of Jamaica are with us all the way through.
The University Archives and NT93 FM present Voices from the Archives. Weekdays at 12:30 p.m., Monday to Thursdays at 6 in the evening, and Sundays at 8 in the morning on News Talk 93 FM.
Make we keep Jamaica clean. Me as we keep Jamaica clean. Keep Jamaica clean. Our duty to keep our island clean. Mobile to Kingston, sidewalk and beach. Bag it, finish, recycle it, please. Proper garbage disposal. Make we do it. Keep Jamaica clean. Keep Jamaica, keep Jamaica. A message from the National Solid Waste Management Authority.
Empire Group of Companies is now in the heart of New Kingston to serve you better. At 31 Tobago Avenue, get Empire Stationery and Office Supplies, Empire Restaurant and Hotel Supplies, and Empire Med and Scientific Supplies. Free same-day delivery island-wide. Visit their showroom today. Call 876-906-1965-6 or WhatsApp 876-775-2277. Email empirestationery1@gmail.com.
Newstime now provides a reminder to ensure your safety in the event of a hurricane this season.
When a hurricane threatens,
stock up on water and non-perishable foods. Refill prescriptions needed. Make sure you have emergency equipment in your home. These include water boots, raincoats, flashlights, batteries, portable radios, kerosene lamps, and matches. Have simple first aid equipment such as iodine, bandages, eye lotion, etc. at home. Fill your car with gas to avoid long lines after the hurricane. Also fill containers for portable generators. Park your car in a place that is safe from falling trees and utility poles. Turn off electricity from main switch 24 hours before the storm is expected to hit. Unplug major appliances.
That was a reminder for precautionary measures to ensure your safety in the event of a hurricane this season.
The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
So you're still not gonna choose me?
Nope.
Say no one ride on the yellow bus.
That don't sound safe.
How about 70,000 new houses?
You never do that the last time. How you gonna do it now?
15% tax on overtime?
That don't cut it.
2 Pro Box then.
Who you think you're talking to?
Here's what. Just give me a number now.
Give me a phone.
$3.5.
How will you get shirt?
Come, I love the 3.5.
Under the PNP, if you earn $3.5 million or less, you won't pay a cent in income tax. On September 3, Jamaica, put your eggs beside the head.
The proceeding was paid for by the
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election.
And also the treasurer there, all of you guys who, you know, were so warm to me, man, and the general public out there who basically was indeed happy to see the fireman Conrad OBrian. Thanks a lot for your warm welcome as usual. There's an observation that I want to make, and you know, I am prepared to stand by my word now and going forward. There are some things that we should look at. We have two major political parties that contest in the main our election, but we have other political parties as well, you know. The fringe parties don't make a dent, however, they're there. And you never can tell when one of them will basically come to fusion and to make inroads, you know. For example, you'll hear, and I think this is one of the things that basically hurt third parties, because they go into their first election talking about winning and all sorts of things like that, you know, talking about winning and so on. And certainly that's not on the card. You have to build. And I think that is even what hurt the one of the most potent third party that we saw in Jamaica, certainly within my lifetime and most of us lifetime, the NDM, the National Democratic Movement, which was led by then Member of Parliament, he was a Member of Parliament for Central St. Catherine at the time, Oret Bruce Golden, who later went back to the Jamaica Labour Party and became Jamaica's eighth Prime Minister. So, but the main point I'm making is that the fair play is certain that there, and I think it's something that we must look at. We must look at. Just this morning, I heard ad coming, the political party ad close off last night at 11:59. But this morning, up to this morning, I heard ad coming out of the government. Listen to me carefully. Coming out of the government, out of the Prime Minister's office. Those ad are politically laced. Politically laced. And I believe that whichever party is in government, the same thing should go for them with those government. As a matter of fact, I go further. I believe that those ads that you see come out in a flurry from the office of the Prime Minister and various government agencies during the election period should not be allowed. Because what it does, it gave the government of the day a clear advantage to spend taxpayers' money vulgarly in terms of putting out those ads. And, you know, I believe that if you want to spend your money and to do ad that to do commercial advertising that color the whole scenario, by all means, pay for it from the political party. I don't think that the Jamaican taxpayer money should be used to give an advantage to any one of the political parties, the governing political party at the moment for going into an election. That's my view. Persons may have a different view on that, but certainly that is where I stand on these things. And this is across the board. It happens to be the Jamaica Labour Party is in office now that I'm behind the microphone, but I'm saying that it is a position that I'm putting forward going into the future with even a PNP administration. All right? That said, let me open the phone lines. The lines are open. The numbers are 876-212-9824. That's 876-212-9824 and 876-462-0919. Let me welcome my friend Paulette, who jetted in from Florida yesterday and had a massive showdown over there in Marvelly last night. Also want to say hi to Mama San, who came in earlier, and of course they were a part of that party stroke rally last night there in Marvelly. I gather it was something awesome. Persons called me, telling me that they were there, and indeed I didn't get to make it because I was down there in St. Anne. All right, let's take our first call. Hello, welcome caller.
Morning, Conrad.
Hey, hi, how you doing, Africa?
You know, President, I give thanks for it, though.
I give God thanks, my friend.
It's good to be here, you know?
Yes, man.
You want some good servants in the building, they don't town there. What them call it, God knows?
Yes, uh-huh.
We want some good servants.
George William Gordon's house, yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
William Gardner, a good man, you know what them teach you them about him, you know.
Yeah, man, he's one of our most well, he's one of our hero, national hero that really deserve being a national hero.
Mm-hmm. In my hero.
Yeah, man. Remember he's one of the hero Africa.
Yes, George William Gordon.
Remember we learned those things from primary school?
Yes, I.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say now, Conrad, we need government to serve the people.
Yes, indeed.
Servants, we don't want to rule a man.
That is true.
I'm a dictator.
That's true. And one of the major thing, Africa, that should underpin that, at all times, they should remember that the word that he was, that they are servants. The people are the boss. The people are the boss. They are basically entrusted with our money. They are custodians over the purse, and that is why Africa, people like myself and others, certainly I will ask tough question of the government of the day, because when the people speaks tomorrow, and let's say Mark Golden become prime minister, then I would not be asking Mr. Holness about the spend of Jamaican money. Granted, Mark will have to go in there, examine where he is at and so on, and then but after a time, certainly, you can't be looking back like Lot's wife. We'll have to call and ask the tough question of Mark Golden. That's what it is, my friend.
The first thing, if you organize yourself to serve the people of Jamaica, policy, Conrad. Law, Conrad, for benefit the people them. The law them we change them, Conrad.
That's true. And we have some very archaic ones that are really outdated,
Yes, Conrad. We need these things. We need serious servants. We're serious to serve and not themselves.
Indeed, Africa.
And foreigners. So the housing trust money out there, build house to foreigner in a bedroom. Poor people can't buy them house. You want to see them a bill? Huh?
That's true. The housing trust has basically lost its mandate, sir. And
what with the point, Conrad?
Well, that's one of the platform that the People's National Party is running on, to say that they will reposition the National Housing Trust to its original mandate. Remember, it was founded in 1972 or 74 by the People's National Party under the leadership of the late Norman Washington Manley. At that time, Tony Spalding was the Minister of Housing. So
if you go back to it base, Conrad, the housing trust, if you go back to it base,
yes,
you've got the serve.
Remind me that we're working with the 5-minute rule, Madam Producer.
All right.
So
All right.
I don't know if you reached there yet. I'm checking to see if we're up on the 5 minutes, because I don't want to short you.
Yeah, man.
We have other callers.
5 minutes, you cut me, man.
All right. Yeah, man. All right, Africa. Bless you.
It's good to be here.
All right. Take care. Blessings. All right. So Africa is a man who always willing to play by the rule, and we admire that. All right. The numbers are 876-212-9824, 876-462-0919. We have callers. Hello. Welcome, caller.
Morning, Mr. O'Brien.
Hi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
Yes.
I hear the Prime Minister speaking that he moved minimum wage from $6,000 to $16,000. And the way he's making it sound as if say the minimum wage the only thing that has moved is the minimum wage. Not bringing to the people that each time the minimum wage is moved, it moved based upon price increases. So in 2016, the price of a bread in 2016, when the minimum wage was $6,000, is completely different from when the minimum wage is $16,000. But he's not telling us prices of how much he has brought the prices of bread and all of these things.
And also, caller, one must remember that minimum wage is something that moves that move basically every year. I remember when Horace Washington Daly, he was campaign, the PNP basically put something in place that the minimum wage I don't know that they had basically enacted it into law, but certainly they said that their position was that the minimum wage should basically increase every I think it was automatic, like every January or thereabout, sometime there, or every April, you should have that increase. Also, even the threshold that we talk about. Remember that we had a situation where we would have moved the threshold over time. So these things are things that are always in train, but sometimes you make a more drastic move in terms of what Mark Golden suggests now, that he will move it to 3.5. So you'll get a better reprieve, because when it was the 1.5 sort of become outdated now, and people need to have more money in their pocket. So, these are some of the big ticket items. But what do you have with the Prime Minister talking about the minimum wage? Mm-hmm.
My point is, no matter how you move the minimum wage or you move all of these things will move because of price increase. So they usually move after the price increase. So the main thing is, if you don't grow the economy, there will be no changes. Even if you put minimum wage to $32,000, and if the economy has not grown substantially to 5, 7, 8%, then think if
as a matter of fact, if you don't move the economy forward and you move the minimum wage out to the reach, then what you're going to do is to allow a lot of people to lose their job. I was listening to Donovan Wignall earlier this morning, and he was saying that even when the minimum wage had moved to 16,000, he is aware of persons who used to have a helper on a consistent basis, and what they did was to now move to have that helper week on, week off, so that helper actually lose out and 1 week's pay. So it's something that we have to gauge properly. And as you said, the way to fix that, the way to fix that is really to grow the economy so that people are better off.
Exactly, because when the Prime Minister talk about the minimum wage is 16,000, it would make it seem as if 16,000 is a lot, but it's still minimal because prices have raised in such a way that the 16,000 is like 4,000 back in 2016, and if you put it to 18,000, things will raise as well, because the man who have the Chinaman who have the liquor shop, when you have to pay more, you're going to put on a $10 on each item.
Well, that's a conversation. So, because when you look at it for real, when you look at it for real, what 6,000 could buy in 2016, the $16,000 can't buy it now.
Exactly, because prices have increased each time, and that is why the minimum wage has to be raised. Because if price never moving up, probably the minimum wage wouldn't have to move. So each time, no matter how you put it, if the economy is not growing, then 32,000 will be like $2,000 in value. And when the Prime Minister come and say, we're going to move it to 32,000, a lot of people running with that, not realizing that you're not going to get $32,000 next year if it should be raised.
No, man, it's not. It's over a 5. It's over a 5-year period. It's over a 5-year period.
Or probably 10.
Yes.
Or probably 10, because the Prime Minister could change his argument.
Well, certainly I don't know that this is going to capture and help the Prime Minister tomorrow at all. I think the people basically make up their mind already that they are going for golden.
The golden opportunity.
Yes. All right. Close out for me up on 5 minutes. Caller?
That was my point, because if you don't grow the economy, it makes no sense.
By the way, you're one of those who come home to vote?
No, I am in New York. I left 2 years ago, and I am banking on the power of the comrade, and Mark Golden has created a big difference in the PNP. That the GLP had underestimated him, and they are really getting a shock. No, because they never expect this from Mark Bolin. They probably thought the PNP would have been weak, but Dayton Campbell and Mark Bolin has come to the fore.
All right. It's a little more. It's a little more than them. It's the entire PNP, and of course the rank and file comrade on the ground. Thanks a lot, caller. I have to go. All right. Good. All right. So, I think the foot soldiers, as they are called, must be given maximum credit for the work that they have done in their various community. But of course, the leader and the leadership certainly guide that process, and they have to be given credit, as the caller was saying. Hello, welcome, caller.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
Morning, Conrad. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
Right. This is my first call to your program. I've listened, found it to be very interesting.
And
thought I'd add my voice to the opinion.
Thanks a lot. You care to give me a name, please?
Bennett.
Okay, Miss Bennett, go ahead. Thanks for calling.
Right. I'd just like to urge all those persons who have not yet made up their minds to vote, that to remind them that voting is all right.
Yes.
And we should exercise it. It was hard fought for by our ancestors. And I'm a senior citizen, and I'm concerned that many persons in my age group have divorced themselves from the democratic process. My observation is, at this time in our history, Conrad, protecting our democracy is extremely important. Bread and butter issues are critical, yes, but I've observed things that show me that Jamaica is not as democratic as we would want it to be, and that if we're not careful, we could get up one day and find that we have lost what our forefathers have fought for.
Yes.
So that's my appeal to persons at this point who might not have made up their minds and whose names are on the voters list, that they should go out and exercise their franchise.
But Ms. Bennett, I want to ask you this question, because I had Don Anderson here yesterday, and the result in the recent polls, it shows where persons in your demographics basically moving in an appreciable way for the People's National Party. Is it that, your figure more or less that that group are very concerned about the democracy, knowing what Jamaica has always been and what we enjoy, and you're fearful that that democracy, certainly under this government, seems to be under some amount of threat?
Conrad, I'd like to use one example to answer this question, although I know it might not be deemed sufficient. I know somebody who I could not speak to her about voting, somebody in my age group, and the person called me 2 weeks ago having read an article by Peter F. Hewitt. I couldn't believe it. And she said, I'm going tomorrow morning to the office to check if my name is there. And she went, and she says, I'm going out tomorrow to vote. That person is in my age group. We're in our 70s. And
whoa, you sound like a 25-year-old girl.
No, man, no. But, it's something that bothers me, that when I try to discuss these issues with my friends, they're all saying, hey, you can go on with that. We are in the departure lounge. I said, listen, you might be in the lounge, but there are your children and your grandchildren. And until we go on the other side of the grass, we have to protect what we have.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
It's been eroded. When I look at the thought, I remember, for example, when there was a discussion about, don't hold up your time because I know it's 5 minutes.
No, man, you're in your 5 minutes.
Right, the dead baby scandal. I saw Mr. Tufton come on and made a statement and said, as far as he's concerned, the discussion is closed. And my response was, who the hell are you to be closing the discussion on this issue when women are out there crying for their children who have died? Who are you to be deeming this thing closed? We are the ones who put you there. And when the issue is closed, when the public deemed it is closed, I was so upset, Mr. Conrad. I heard Minister Chuck talking about the ombudsman. There's a time when public opinion, came up against certain things. They would go back to the table and say, okay, let's look at it and see if there's room for maneuvering. And it seems, no, we're not changing. It's staying where it is.
Yeah,
such an arrogant, dictatorial attitude doesn't take into account that we're in a democracy that calls for consultation, participation, and knowing the checks and balances to operate.
Mm-hmm.
And, I find it abhorrent.
Mm-hmm.
And as I tell all them as senior citizens, I am going out tomorrow morning, and I'm not voting for bread and butter, Conrad.
Yes.
I am voting to protect my democracy.
In a minute before you go, because it's important that we canvass these views. For the first time, I'm a little younger than you are, but certainly, it is the first time in my lifetime I've seen where a prime minister is fingered directly in things like illicit enrichment and so on, and the corruption seems to be looming so large here in Jamaica. How are you viewing this? Because in my view, I'm picking up from a wide cross section of people that integrity will be on the ballot tomorrow. How do you view that as a person in your 70s?
For me, it is very high on my list of priorities, because to me, when you lose your integrity, you've lost everything. I'm not saying the Prime Minister has lost him, because his matter is going through the courts and we have to allow it to take it through. But I'm very concerned that we can have leaders whose image have been tarnished for such a long time. And there are people in our society who sit down and say, I know nothing that, you don't mean nothing, I just bad mind, I just grudgeful. No, I think people should have their day in court, yes. But I think from what I've seen, I read a lot. I'm a voracious reader.
Yes, I can. I am picking that up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and from my reading, I read the integrity reports. I read even that thing the other night on TV about the change in the debt to service ratio. I knew it because I went on the thing the morning and read it.
And it was instructive. It was instructive that the Prime Minister went on to the debate, not knowing Mark Gordon had to basically school him and that, and you wonder what was happening with the people who would normally brief him.
Stuff. The Prime Minister can't be expected to know everything, but his handlers have done their research and put him in a position.
He came out looking very bad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it didn't look good. I felt away for him because I said, but I read that this morning. I read it on when I get up in the mornings, I go into my news things. I go into the Gleaner, the Observer, Google, BBC, every one of them. Mm-hmm. And I read the things that are relevant. I read the things in the international arena. I suppose when you're retired, you have time for all time.
If you don't mind, what area of you worked in when you were on the job?
Wow.
All right.
That's to give away.
All right, never mind.
I was in the area where you are working now.
Okay, all right, cool.
I'm a media person.
Cool.
I used to be a news person. Yeah.
All right.
I tend to be so conscious.
All right. I think I'm a little bit clearer.
Yeah, man. But have a good day.
All the best. God bless you, and keep safe. And go out, take your friends with you, and you all go out and vote and set up a nice watch party in the evening.
Right.
Indeed.
Okay.
All the best, Miss Bennett. God bless you, ma'am. All right. So, it's important that we ventilate these matters, and these are the issues that the Fourth Estate, and of course, Miss Bennett would understand it so well as someone who worked in the area. So let's take the break. So come.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
And you can trust that when you send me to Parliament, you're not have a bench warmer or a table knocker, but you have a champion who is ready to serve you. And so I do not don't want me ask anyway. Northwest, St. Anne. Are you ready? Oh, my comrades, see the signal waving in the sky. Reinforcements now appearing. Victory, victory, victory.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
It's the Muppet Show!
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the light. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet.
Vote them out! Vote them out! Vote them out! You know why? You know why? You know why? You must vote them out? Not because my JLP. God don't like us.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
I've had to work for anything that I've had. I have said it before and I will say it again. I don't know what a gold spoon looks like. It has never been in my mouth. So Comrade Golden, when I hear Andrew, I say him never born with gold spoon in my mouth. That does not mean you should steal it. I have no inheritance or any endowment or any trust fund anywhere. That does not mean you should steal it. Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. You know why? You know why? You know why? You must vote them out. Not because my JLP. God don't like us.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk, Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk, Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. You know why? You know why? You know why? You must vote them out? Not because you're JLP. God don't like us.
It's the Muppet Show!
Frank Morris with member station KCUR reports officials cite the Trump administration's crackdown on student visas.
Last year, well over 1 million international students helped American schools pay the bills. President Trump's
It's the Muppet Show!
Frank Morris with member station KCUR reports officials cite the Trump administration's crackdown on student visas.
Last year, well over 1 million international students helped American schools pay the bills. But President Trump's State Department has aggressively...
We have lost the feed with Conrad OBrian. I don't know what's going on. There is nothing coming in from Conrad OBrian. Let me figure out something here. Stand by for us as we try and figure out something here because we have lost the feed with Mr.
We denied and revoked student.
We're losing the feed with Conrad OBrian. Okie dokie. Stand by for us, please. It's not coming from my end. We have lost all contact with Conrad OBrian. His feed is down. So let me run this until I can find out what's going on with him. I don't know what's going on. One moment for us, please.
A common misconception is that on election day, you vote for the Prime Minister. However, that is not the case. You vote for your member of parliament.
Frank Morris with member
Welcome
station.
to Notify. Let's break down what really happens at the polling stations.
Last year, well over 1 million international students helped American schools.
First things first, you must be 18 or older, a Jamaican citizen or Commonwealth resident, and you must be registered with the Electoral Office of Jamaica. On election day, go to your polling station between the times announced. Present your voter's ID, and this will be checked against the voters list. Once verified by the presiding officer, you'll be able to cast your vote. Some polling stations might be using EVIS, the Electronic Voter Identification System, where you will be asked to place a specific finger on a fingerprint scanner to verify your identity. Inside the polling station, you will be provided with a pencil, which you will use to mark an X beside the candidate of your choice. This person will represent your constituency and become your member of parliament. After that, You'll dip your right index finger in ink to show that you've cast your vote. Ensure that you watch as the presiding officer places your unopened ballot into the ballot box. Remember, you're voting for your member of parliament and not directly for the party leader, unless they are your member of parliament. The party leader that wins the most seats across all 63 constituencies becomes the Prime Minister. Once you've made your vote, it's time for the Electoral Office of Jamaica to count the ballots. Stay tuned to find out what happens after the ballots are in. My name is Krista Fuller, and this has been Notified.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back again. And this time, we're not going to drive the bus. We're just going to talk a little bit about the bus because we've heard so many stories about how we bad mind because we've brought this to the attention of the Jamaican people. The cabinet is responsible also. It's not just Mr. Vaz or Minister Vaz. The cabinet is also responsible for the purchase of these buses to take our children from the rural section of Jamaica to school. Now we have come up with plans that don't include these buses. They don't. But we won't talk about that today. What we want to talk about is value for money. Now Mr. Vaz says that the Jamaican public is getting value for money. The buses are in great condition. We know that not to be the case. It's not true. But what I want to talk to you about today is not the refurbishing, not the retrofitting, just the value of these buses. Now, as I mentioned to you last week,
Frank Morris with member station KCU. Frank Morris with member station KCUR reports officials cite the Trump administration's crackdown on student visas.
Last year, well over 1 million international students helped American schools.
It didn't cost $2,000 US. You can actually purchase these buses at auction for less than $2,000. 2010 buses. And we're talking about Bluebird Thomas International. This bus, ladies and gentlemen, cost exactly this. $1 US.
We know that the Prime Minister cannot be trusted. And when the thing is highlighted, when people explain what is going on in terms of why he said that, then I think people is going to keep away from him. Because one, the Prime Minister do it because he's backed into a corner. Mm-hmm. Secondly, it cannot be done. Because if you are going to raise the minimum wage, double it, $32,000, mm-hmm. The economy would have to be growing at 8 or 10% for you to have done that in 5 years. It cannot be done. Mm-hmm. And that's a clear statement.
Well, a number for private sector leaders, have been saying that. So let's see how that will pan out. But certainly, the people will make their decision tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
It can't be done.
Yes.
And no, he said that he's going to put on $250 on it if he win.
2005.
I think it's April.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's not going to win. And even if he win, then that $250 is going to stay there for about 3 years. Because as I said before, he cannot keep raising it because the country is not growing. And it is not going to happen. So what he does is trying to trick the people.
All right.
I'm going to tell people not to trust him. And I'm going to tell people why not to trust him.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in 2020, Andrew go around the country, and telling the people us that PMP want him to call election, and he's not going to call election.
Yeah, I remember that.
Time. Mm-hmm. And what does he do? In the height of the COVID, Andrew call the election. Right?
And shut down a lot of corner shops and all of those sort of things, and actually said that the COVID was being spread by the corner shops and people there on the ground. He actually said those things. And I believe that people have been carrying those things in their belly, so to speak, as them say a road man carry things and then crawl. And I think the people basically are saying that yes, you bugger you, we catch you now. We have the angle, so they are going to go there tomorrow and register their protest against the Prime Minister and the Jamaica Labour Party. That's my view, what I'm picking up out there.
His attitude is toxic to Jamaica. Right? I remember JFJ went out there to protest to bring awareness that they want the police to wear body wear cameras, right?
Yes.
And what did Andrew Holness do? He sent out his supporters to protest.
Well, they didn't come. They actually didn't take his. Hold on. They didn't take his instruction, but certainly that's what he do. As a matter of fact, a caller called me. As a matter of fact, somebody. Hold on, Anthony. Hold on, Anthony. Somebody called me and said that the Prime Minister was encouraging people to break the work for a force order. I forgot what they call it. The civil service workforce order, because you're not supposed to basically show political hands within workplace, and the Prime Minister encouraged people to do that within the workplace.
Yes, I remember. He said that they must protest wherever they are, in their workplace, in the street, wherever. That was in the case of Dennis Strong situation. That was another protest event he called out also, because people were protesting because they said that Dennis Strong got the work by some default.
Which is true. And that is true. It is true. When you're going to doctor something in order for bringing somebody, it's you set the hand. You know, and the Prime Minister and the government have to live with them something, because I know we make them up. These are things that are out there. And the people of Jamaica will have the chance tomorrow to register their protest.
So I just want to tell the people them, right?
The ultimate protest.
I just want to tell the people them that we have to choose our leaders that will allow our rights to be ventilated. We cannot continue to have our rights be taken away from us. That is important. And then again, I am sure that Mark Golden have the economic capability to bring our country to a higher level.
Certainly, if there's one among us who can do it, is Mark G.
I know he have it. He have the capability. So I just want to say to people again, just go out and vote tomorrow.
And he's indeed certified, sir.
No, this Jamaica is toxic because of the Jamaica Labour Party, because the way they are doing things. It hurts a lot of people. Too much pressure on people now. So let's vote them out tomorrow, people.
All right, Anthony. Okay, all right. Thanks a lot. There is also another thing, as I was just saying, you know, you're going on the ballot. One is certified, one is uncertified. Who are you going to choose, Mr. Certified or Mr. Uncertified? Hello, welcome, caller.
Yes, sir, morning.
Hi, Milton. How are you doing?
What?
Back to back, 2 East Rural, man.
Okay, sir. Let's look for Mr. Bruce Goulin as a JP or as a notary republic. And be something Mr. Holness to both his fellow member Jamaican, wider Jamaican society. Right now, all indications show that Mr. Holness let down Mr. Goulin use up him a local parlance, you know, in terms of the recommendation that was given to him.
You're talking about Bruce Golden. You're saying that Mr. Holness let him down. Can you use in the term, the JP term, to make your point? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm speaking too quick because first thing come in the corporate world, then call it skill. But in Jamaica, in local parlance, then call it you don't have any manners, or Milton doesn't have any manners. Well, they're working when it comes to that stuff. No, this is.
They're breaking up, Milton.
No, I said the wholeness is lack soft skill, or they don't have manners. Oh, one vex, and one please. You remind me of the farmer chairman of the Integrity Commission. told the world that he wrote to Mrs. Holness. And he has been looking for a response up until now. And it was the good lady's responsibility to respond to that gentleman, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And Mr. Holness again. What went on in the 19th of March 2024 in Parliament?
Yes.
2 days, Mr. Holness returned to Parliament. And instead of Mr. Holness issue a formal apology with an assurance that it won't happen again.
That was when he walked out of the Parliament you're talking?
So, and he reminded.
Yeah, remember that we have, and not everybody remember exactly what you're talking, so we have to remind them. You're talking about when the Prime Minister and his members walked out of the Parliament. The first that we have ever seen that, certainly in maybe across the world, where a government walked out of its own Parliament.
Yes, sir. And in come back and make you know that his wife is reminded us, you know, because some of us know that the wife was a self-made woman long before him.
Mm-hmm.
Self-made woman and a bad mind they have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, supposed to address the speakers, no, my wife or my husband neither, you know.
Yes.
And he might wife. And not so. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
Mark, the greatest respect. Someone was talking about Mark Golding this morning. It is part of Mark Golding rise so quick. Has a lot to do with the behavior of the polling system. Right?
Yeah, man, make your point. I'm listening.
Really, he wrote quick, you know. No matter tell you, he come too fast, you know, and it too Saturday night, in Thursday night. Right?
Mm-hmm.
This thing saying could I use is the conductor and get better the man who knows run his long, but say Mark Golding wasn't been known like Mr. Holness, you know. I thought that the people never know Mr. Mark Golding a man of the world, but he never been known popular like Mr. Holness. Or a public figure, right? And a lot of things to Thursday night, you know. So Mr. Holness knows, say, you'll be soon called outgoing Prime Minister and a former Prime Minister of Jamaica. And I can bet my last dollar for that.
All right. Well?
Yeah. Make the people in community in 5 minutes. We now go right today.
All right, Milton. Thanks a lot. Let's see what will happen tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the day of reckoning. All right. Will we ushered in the 10th Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mark Jefferson Golding? Let's see what will happen there. Hello, welcome, caller.
Morning, sir.
Hi, Portmore. How are you doing?
Hanging in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love to remind people that I was one Jamaican who was saying that Andrew Wallace was never fit as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
You know how, I mean, and it one incident after another keep showing up that this man don't know nothing about leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the debate was an example where he should have come out and stood up as a leader of the political party and said, this is 21st century Jamaica. I mean, we are in 2025 Jamaica. We never really have no racist gameplay. Because back in the 70s when Manley was saying Hyman Barnier, it was a fact that he was goading Mr. Siaga, who was born in Boston, right? Which was a fact. It wasn't a lie. But Manley never used no race game against Mr. Siaga. Right? Now, when the GLP come up with this thing, when I won't even use the word to describe those who come up with this race thing, and as leader of the GLP, Mr. Andrew should come out and say, look, I am taking the higher ground and I am not going to go down this road because this man is a Jamaican. But him come out and doing just like what that lunatic in America was doing to Donald Trump. Right?
Yeah.
Trying to use something that they know is fully lie. Right? Trying to make out this man that he's not Jamaican. And he doesn't have a right to be where he is.
It was the Trump playbook. Mm-hmm.
Playing a race game. And while you're playing a race game, you have people in your party who are of the same background, and you don't say anything about them.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And then when the man pull out his birth certificate, yeah, but what instead of saying, don't say nothing. You come out.
Well, you know what? Had I been Mr. Wholeness, I would make a light moment of it. Trust me, had I been on that debate in Mr. Wholeness's position, I would score very, very big in that moment. Because you know what I would do? I would say to Mark, congratulations, man. The people have been asking, and here you are. You deliver. So end of that story, and make a light moment of it, and even chuckle, and make a light moment. But what he did, he doubled down on the nonsense and make a fool of himself. To talk about, you're born a Jamaican and make you a Jamaican and all them sort of stupidity.
There's somebody who claim now, you come in and everybody call doctor this and doctor that. That is how a person with a PhD is supposed to behave, or whatever it is that him get. That them call him doctor. No, man. You must behave with a little more dignity. But I suppose when people become desperate, and I've never seen, this is the most desperate leader, and I've never seen a party, a leader in this country who have grown the country and have beg and have bribe and have do everything. Because if you did such a wonderful job, you should be just laying back and just saying, "No, me got me easy."
Well, you know, sir, if you were to go by what is in the public domain, you remember when the PNP, when the JLP won power and they went after Kern Spencer with everything. Bruce was the prime minister. What's his name? Oh my goodness!
Yeah, but I remember exactly what happened, and I didn't have a problem.
Right? What was the minister at the time? And of course, hold on, Portmore. And the minister went after Kern, and so on. And people are saying that, listen, this is the same vigor and vital that they expect Mr. Golden and his team to pursue certain matters. So could that be why we're seeing the level of desperation among not just Mr. Wholeness, but among other people within there? Because we're still asking the question about this $1.4 billion spent for the bus, because we know it not spent on the bus them. We know.
It's just it's just to provide another person money who perhaps make contribution. Remember when this government come in some time ago, the PNP left money to purchase brand new motor vehicles for the police force, and the first thing we hear as them come in, we're not going to use that money to purchase new buses, because that money can buy twice the amount of vehicles. Twice the amount of police cars for the police force. Up until today, where the police car and the year said was somebody who had donated money to the party had to get back his money. So that is how he got back his money, by promising to buy cars that never turn up. So,
all right, Portmore, I have to leave it there for this morning. Thanks. All right, bless you. Let's go to the break. So come.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
Are under investigation for illicit enrichment. I, Julian J. Robinson, can categorically state, I am not under investigation. Can the three of you say that? We need growth.
Vote them out.
The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
So you're still not gonna choose me?
Nope.
Say now I ride on the yellow bus.
That don't sound safe.
How about 70,000 new houses?
You never do that the last time. How you gonna do it now?
15% tax on overtime?
That don't cut it.
2 Pro Box then.
Who you think you're talking to?
Here's what. Just give me a number now.
Give me a phone.
$3.5.
How will you get shirt?
Come, I love the 3.5.
Under the PNP, if you earn $3.5 million or less, you won't pay a cent in income tax. On September 3, Jamaica, put your eggs beside the head.
The proceed.
Mark Bowling and the rest of them asked me to show them the certificate for the bus, the inspection for the bus. About 5 certificates them want. The only certificate that Jamaica wants between now and election is to show me in Jamaican birth certificate.
You know, I just wanted to just make it absolutely clear that I am indeed born here as a Jamaican. Here is my birth certificate.
It is not your birth that makes you Jamaican.
Lie! I don't know if I didn't me like this, man. I'm in a bar running, man. Better you run away.
It's the Muppet Show!
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the light. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet.
Vote them out! Vote them out! Vote them out!
Campus,
You know why?
a weekly
You
snap.
know why? You know why? You must vote them out? Not because you're JLP. God don't like us.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
Are under investigation for illicit enrichment. I, Julian J. Robinson, can categorically state I am not under investigation.
Welcome back to
Can
Straight
the
Up.
three of you say that?
My name is Conrad OBrian. We go up until 12 midday. The lines are open. We're taking your calls all day. And of course, we're up on the Conrad OB TikTok page. I'm getting some information that it is very clear from some. Let's see, Julia was saying it's a little bit noisy, but subsequently I understand that it's very clear. So Julia, let me know if you're hearing me very clearly, as Andrea just told me. And please tell Conrad to tell the comrades of Trelawney, both north and south, to take their money, the JLP. And okay. Okay. take the money the JLP are dishing out and vote them out. All right, okay. That's the word for the people of South Trelawney. Trelawney generally, South and North and South. All right, so let's see what they will do tomorrow. Hello, caller.
Hi, Conrad. Morning.
Hi, Marie. You hear me? Taking you to task. But anyhow, go with your 5 minutes, Marie. We're taking 5 minutes for. No, I was saying that. I was actually saying that you more than anybody should know that we have 2 numbers. So when you're buzzing on one and the other one, and it's not going, then you try the other one, because we find that most persons are calling just that number that you're calling and not utilizing the other number. So just hold a minute. Let me just repeat the number, the second number, 876-462-0919 or 876-212-9824. You're on 876-212-9824 and it is still buzzing now. So caller who are calling, please use the other number, 462-0919. Go ahead, Marie.
Okay, Conrad, first of all, good morning to the 47th President of the United States, Donald Trump, and by extension, good morning to our 9th Prime Minister. Conrad, let me tell you something. Trump blew up America with all these tariffs and all of that, and even the farmers that voted against their own issues. What is this Mr. Holness is coming with at this Cinderella moment? Mr. Holness, your pumpkin, you're going to turn back in one, your coach, you're going to turn back in one pumpkin, you know, because you are voting. Your thing that you have just posited. You admit the people that vote against you, you know. No, Conrad, I'm not saying that $32,000 is not something that workers that earn minimum wage are deserving. But did he think this thing through? And this midnight thing where in fairy godmother, godfather, whoever come and just put this in him and you come and come with this. Even people, Conrad, that in a certain socio-economic class, Conrad, if them used to have a helper or two that's coming how many days a week, people would start losing their jobs. Nobody, because they probably won't be able. Many can pay it still in Conrad, maybe a few, but it's not everybody will be able to do it. People's businesses are gonna go down. Just like how the farmers in America that them produce are rotting in the fields because the people that would come in and reap these products, people them afraid for sure about them head. So this is a Trumpian move. You understand me, Conrad?
Yeah, man.
It is.
I'm listening. Listen.
Yeah. So I don't know what is this midnight hour thing. You know, I am saying the midnight hour is a
people refer to these things as desperation, Marie. So, desperado. So let's see. But as you said, you know, the people tomorrow is the day of reckoning, and I'm sure the people will do what they must.
All right. I'm moving right along because whatever we'll see. It is we'll see what we shall see tomorrow. All right. With the birth paper thing, I just want to go back to it a minute, right? Marky G bring up Andrew and I said on CPTC, Conrad, I like your virgin go somewhere, and so and him say something, I like him say, me have one for myself, when I have a old one for my virgin too, because my virgin like that. When Marky G whip out in birth paper and added to it an addendum and say, and by the way, I have a copy for you too, You understand me?
Yeah, it was a classic moment.
It was a classic moment, Conrad. But you go somewhere now, you're bridging like that,
And then when he add to it and say he had one for him, that was half of the classic moment. Is when he said that. Listen, he hoped he would get a copy of his certification, but he can't. Mark show a lot of wit and poise and the whole 9 yards there. That's really a winning moment in a debate,
I keep telling them, underestimate this man at them own peril, I was talking to when you were away for the week and you had
Colin Bell
over there. Yes, and I was talking to him and I said, this man from he has come into representational politics, Conrad. He has outperformed the people them who people think would run circles around him, because Mark is a quiet storm. You understand?
You know
me?
what, Maria, tell you something, you know. You know that I don't believe, nobody believe that people can run around Mark Golden. People know that you're talking about one of the brightest men in the Caribbean. So people know, you know. No, man. People know that Mark is not no chicken. People know Mark is no chicken. You don't pull from scratch a company like DB&G and make it a world-renowned company that Scotiabank purchased and all of those sort of things. You don't come and be in one of the number one corporate lawyer in the Caribbean. People knows that. What happened is that people believe that, listen, Mark wasn't somebody who was known within the political circle, and they believe that, you know, he probably would take a long time to come at the curve. But because of his sharp intellectual acumen, it is easy, because, you know, once you're able to grasp things quickly, the learning curve is easy. And that's what we see with Mark Golden. First thing to begin with, Mark Golden take the time to unite his party. That's what he did. The first thing he did. And that is indeed how you go about business. Then he and his team, of course, with his general secretary and others, they introduce, he along with them introduced himself to Jamaica. And he started somewhat early. So he did it in a way that he had time to basically do it not just once, similar to what Mama P did when she circled the country, I think was about 3 times. So Mark Golden basically developed a thing. You see Mark go downtown and people are treating him like rock star now all over the place. I mean, this is something that was, and we have to give commendation to the team. Granted, the big prize is tomorrow, but certainly what we saw with Mark Golden now, kudos are in order.
Conrad, you remember when you walk out of Parliament, Conrad?
Yes.
And Mark go on the mound at that old House of Assembly, because I saw them use, but they said this name, Ibert House, and Mark go on that mound. That was an 18-something moment, you know. And I was talking to Colin, and Colin said that was when Mark got his baptism by fire. You know, don't use a term, because the man showed his mettle right there. Because I'm going to talk up and taking notes, you know. I'm gone or whatever, you know. I'm right there.
That is true. You're gone over your 5-minute, Mary, and the buzz.
All right, Conrad. Well, you don't know, you know, Conrad, tomorrow, I want to say D-Day, because D-Day is a good day when back in World War, whatever. That was a good day. Tomorrow, we are storm the Bastille tomorrow, you know, Conrad. Tell my friend, celebration has start. We are storm the Bastille and we'll take it to them in a good way. Everything is said them.
Yeah, man. Well, all right, Maury. Take care.
Put Andre in them. I want him in them. I want him to walk up a garden on Duke Street. So I beg you now, St. James, put Andre in there.
All right.
Please. Everybody know, but I want Andre.
All right. Okay, take care. Good. All right. So she's batting there for Andre Horton down there in St. James. He's going up against Mrs. Marlene Malahoo Ford. Hello.
Good morning, Conrad. How are you doing, my brother?
I am very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm giving God the glory, you know. I'm telling you, I'm in a festive mood.
Yes.
No, really because I'm reporting to you from Southwest St. Elizabeth, and I tell you, say.
Southwest. You know, a while ago when you said my brother, you sounded like one of my own blood brothers. I was just about to call it.
I'm Spence, you know. I'm Spence.
Yes, yeah, man.
And I Spence and Hill from Westmoreland and Hanover.
Okay, good.
Well, anyway, I'm in the Black River region near where I live in. Alone,
that's Miranda, Wellington.
Yes.
Up against Pride Green, yes?
I see Miranda do something. I mean, I wasn't there, you know. But when the meeting was in San Francisco Sunday night, I heard that this was in Brompton, well, right?
Yeah, man, I do. And I gather she is quite strong in Brompton. Is that so?
No, man, I tell you, say, should jam Brompton, man, I tell you, Sunday night, I tell you, say, vehicle take, somebody was there, tell me, say, 2 hours vehicle take to come through the crowd Sunday night.
Boy, I don't know, but I am saying this. If what I am seeing out there, granted and with the vote in the box count, but if what I'm seeing out there from the various PNP candidates,
yes, sir.
If that is the kind of energy that is reverberating in the districts, the community, the street, and the lane with the people, then tomorrow night will be quite interesting.
But as you know, we have 4 divisions, right, in the constituency.
Yes, sir.
And Black River and Brompton belongs to the PNP. Then we have the Peter Plain and the mountainside. And as what you said, it's not really the crowd, you know, the vote in the box. But if she can even split those 2 divisions, then with the support, with the vote in the box, right? I remember, you know, if you remember, with Tufton lead Buchanan with over 2,000 votes come over, you know.
I made that point, Mr. Spence, over and over, that, you know, and that's basically dovetail into what we call the weather vane seat. And I'll share this. I know it's your call. I don't want to take up too much of your 5 minutes. I want you to make a point, but it's important for me to make this point, you know, so that our broader listenership can understand, because we like to educate and inform. When we talk about the weather vane seat, here is what happened back in 2011, 2012, when Young Buchanan won the seat. He overall a 2,000 plus vote to win by 13. Donald Buchanan, the senior Donald Buchanan, he won that seat by a lower margin of about 6 or 12 votes at one time. But that's a seat, there was 2 seats there, Southwest and Southeast. They work as like a pea in a pod. But there's another thing that Buchanan and Miranda have in common. They are from the community. When Buchanan won, he was a teacher at the Black River High School. Miranda is also a teacher at there now. The Minister of Agriculture was Dr. Christopher Tufton at the time when Buchanan beat him. And now, Floyd Green is the Minister of Agriculture. So it almost mirrors the situation in 2012. Just wanted to make that point.
And before I go, I saw one of my comrades yesterday in the town of Black River. And it's a 30 of them coming on the flight Sunday night, you know. For Southwest, you know, 30 foreigners come down on the flight.
Wow.
Sunday night, you know. And I heard a lot of people is coming. But Conrad, and I have continued to tell my brother, we will continue to keep up the good work, and the Lord bless and keep you and his face shine upon you. And you are doing a wonderful job. You are doing a wonderful job.
Thanks.
You know?
Thanks.
We have to just stay strong and then hope and trust and pray tomorrow that we get out all the vote in the box, you know.
All I ask of you, sir, is to remember me in your prayer. All right? I need coverage. All right? Good.
So bless my brother. I'm going back to class.
All the best. Take care. Take care. All right. So as I'll call it there out of Black River, Southwest St. Elizabeth. That's one of the classic weather vane seat. There are 3 of them that I talk about in Jamaica in the most classic sense. Southeast, Southwest St. Elizabeth, and indeed Western St. Mary. We watch those 3 tomorrow and see where they goes. Hello, welcome caller.
Morning, Mr. O'Brien.
Hi, Marshy. How you doing, man?
I'm there. I have a sense of deja vu, you know.
Yes?
I have a sense of deja vu.
What's up now? Talk to me.
The same spot where Andrew when stand up and say, he might go double the minimum wage. At the same spot, hardly sure did stand up and say. How much the minimum wage when hardly sure said that?
I don't remember what it was, but suffice it to say it never happened.
because how much it there now? 16?
Uh-huh.
To my recall, I don't think it doubled yet. And how long now, Adley officer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These people, when them not have nothing to talk, you know, you ever see somebody get liquid out their head yet and turn fool?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Andrew Holness, because Marky G lick him in the head with piece of paper. Somebody can lick him with piece of paper and it turn you in an idiot. Not because you're born in Jamaica, that don't necessarily mean you're a Jamaican.
You know, it's amazing, I stopped at the gas station a couple days ago, and the gas station attendants were just making a mockery of the Prime Minister with each other. And I was saying that when you see these things happening, and I'll borrow the PNP slogan, when you see these things happen, time coming up, whether it is the PNP or the JLP, whenever you see things boil down to this, where the people really almost dealing with the leader with a level of disdain.
Yes.
You know what is going on. Mm?
I think Holness did have in his eucalyptus moment, you know. You know anything about eucalyptus?
Tell me about it, sir. I don't
The man said when him small and he have calling grandmother or the hole in the and throw eucalyptus oil down and throw.
I remember.
Him said that to the bun up kill him. At the eucalyptus moment the man have. You remember, said the man hear the voice of dead baby I cry to him?
Yeah, man.
A long time the man talk foolishness, you know. So he used to the river coast and pick wild guinea. You know me never hear about wild guinea. Me know about sweet guinea and sour guinea. And enough nonsense. And you want to start, you know.
It look like you record them. Oh, you remember them so much?
You remember them, man. I whole heap of foolishness. The man just talk foolishness. The man just talk foolishness till you run out of food. And confession good for the soul. Sometimes God can make you come out a long time. I tell him about George Davis, you know. And let me tell you, Mark G did get a microphone moment, you know, because Mark holding to something and never know. So the microphone did that, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, George Davis. Never know that the mic never turn off.
It's called poetic justice, sir.
Yes, man. And I understand he pay a huge price for it.
What is that price?
My God.
What is that price?
Yes, I'm now at a certain place again.
CVM?
Yes.
Well, he said this morning that he said that he tendered his resignation. I heard him this morning. He said he tendered his resignation.
But decently, people ask you to tender your resignation.
That happened. But to be fair to him, he said that long before anything. Well, I don't know. I have to say what he said. He said long before that, he tendered his resignation because they will be embarking on a new journey where he is, and it's going to require much, much more of his time. He also went on further to say that they will have to do things because, and I'm paraphrasing here, because they may not be in a position where they will be getting the kind of government support by way of ad that they are now enjoying. So they will have to do things to endear themselves to the private sector more. You know, as I say, I'm paraphrasing, but in a nutshell, that's what he said this morning. Was it this morning or so in his opening commentary? Because he said that there was a flurry of comments that he was fired from CVM or whatever.
I'm lucky. But another thing we want how much police then promote the day before the police then go vote. Them think the high level of corruption in my fireman. A high level of corruption them there, you know. And the evil much of the same day use promote so much policeman. Then you come out after that, come talk about bomb threat, and then the Minister of National Security come out and say the PNP do it, the police not say so. And what do them
Well, I tell you this, while I can understand you read into the promotion of the police, but I am not, I probably don't even want to go there. So, but what I will comment on, as I did yesterday, I think it was one of the most despicable, one of the lowest point in our political history that we saw where a minister of national security and the deputy prime minister, a bomb threat took place without any information, anything, and he went for the jugular and accused his political opponent to say they did it. I mean, it is as low as one can get, and I hope the people down there in St. James go out and vote for Mr. What's the PNP man down there?
But then can't get it lower. You remember a couple months ago?
Man, these guys must be sent home, man. They come with too much nonsense, man.
How
you do that? How you get this up?
Couple months ago, they run out and said bomb threat at the Prime Minister house. And then the bomb threat, he just, where you get them something there from? What kind
you can understand a little man speaking loosely, you know. Bernard is the young man name. He's a lecturer at the University of the West Indies.
Yeah, man, the dread.
Yes, Bernard. Sorry for that, for not remembering his name often, but these things happen. You know, Marsha, listen, we expect when you come to leadership, I mean, frankly speaking, I am here. Not making any comparison with me and our top on our big guys, big wigs, not at all. But the fact of the matter, Marsh, I am here with a certain level of responsibility, and I'm expected to conduct myself with a certain level of decorum.
Yes, man. Yes, man.
You understand?
And before my time up, let me ask you a little question about how much you think a teacher would pay for income tax. Give me an idea where you believe.
For income tax?
Yes. Or a police.
I honestly don't know.
Give me an idea.
I don't know. I'm not. I can't.
In the negotiation, I talked to a teacher and she said sometimes like 18 or maybe at 20 or 18. But let me say to a teacher, them in a negotiation now, nurse likewise. Let's
public
say
sector workers, yes?
Yeah, public. Let me say you were paying $15,000 for the month for income tax. Under the PNP government, which is to come, starting April, you know, it's if you were paying 15,000 income tax, you know you already have a 15,000 increase in your salary.
Absolutely, and there's also another layer, there, Marsha. When it comes to the nurses, for example, nurse session, that would be consist of overtime. That money will be tax free as well.
Yes, yes. So these are some of the things that the teachers, the police, the nurses, and the public sector worker in general.
There's another layer for the teachers, sir. The teachers will be offered duty concession motor vehicle.
Yes.
So a lot of things the PNP is offering to people to really move them up, because they're not looking at just salary, but they're looking at other things that basically can ensure. Because ordinarily, let's say you're purchasing a vehicle, right? And the concession will make you save a $500 or to $1 million, depending on what type of vehicle you're purchasing. That's a big mean, eh?
Yeah, of course.
All right, Marsha. Thanks.
Just before
no break. We're up on the break. I have to go.
Up on the break. All right.
All right. Cool. Thanks.
The preceding hour was brought to you by Wellington Dental.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
Mr. Morgan, yes, remember now, minimum.
Mark Bowling and the rest of them asked me to show them the certificate for the bus, the inspection for the bus. About 5 certificates them want. The only certificate that Jamaica want between now and election is to show me in Jamaican birth certificate.
You know, I just wanted to just make it absolutely clear that I am indeed born here as a Jamaican. Here is my birth certificate.
It is not your birth that makes you Jamaican.
Lie! I don't know if I didn't like this, man. I'm in a bar running, man. Better you run away.
They're Jamaicans who come here. So your government is now holding a press conference to try to convince you of their record of achievement.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
Just pull this up. The brakes. Down. All right.
And to be
ready? Folks, listen. Don't make too much noise, huh? Which one?
Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out. You know why? You know why? You know why? You must vote them out? Not because of JLP. God don't like us.
The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
Searchers say.
So you're still not gonna choose me?
Nope.
Say now I ride on the yellow bus.
That don't sound safe.
How about 70,000 new houses?
You never do that the last time. How you gonna do it now?
15% tax on overtime?
That don't cut it.
2 Pro Box then.
Who you think you're talking to?
Here's what. Just give me a number now.
Give me a phone.
$3.5.
How will you get shirt?
Come, I love the 3.5.
Under the PNP, if you earn $3.5 million or less, you won't pay a cent in income tax. On September 3, Jamaica, put your eggs beside the head.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
It's the Muppet Show!
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the light. It's time to meet the Muppets on the Muppet.
Vote them out! Vote them out! Vote them out! You know why? You know why? You know why? You must vote them out? Not because you're JLP. God don't like us.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd,
Welcome back to Straight Up right here
for
at
live
News
coverage of
93 FM with yours truly, Conrad OBrian, the fireman, as the fireman continue to burn and the eve of the 18th, am I correct, Madam Producer, 18th general election here in Jamaica, or 19th general election. And certainly what we're watching, will we have the 9th Prime Minister, Andrew Michael Brogard Rodham Holness, remain as Prime Minister tomorrow evening? Or will the people of Jamaica go to the polls in droves and usher in the 10th Prime Minister of Jamaica, Jefferson Golden, the man Marky G, as I dubbed him? And let me take a little bit of credit now, please. Is I, Conrad OBrian, the fireman, gave Mark Jefferson Golden that name, Marky G, and it has become popular. Is me, Conrad OBrian, sat down right here in the studios of News Talk 93 FM, asked Mark Golden what his middle name. He said Jefferson. And from that day, I started to call him his full name, Mark Jefferson Golden. And today, I didn't give him the name Mark Jefferson Golden. It was given by his parents. But certainly, I popularize people calling him Mark Jefferson Golden. I made no bones about it. A man have to pat himself on the shoulder from time to time and take a little credit. I'm sure the man out of Portland, the man who liked to remind us of his heritage, you know, indeed and certainly, and he remind us, not because he wear it as a badge of sympathy, but as a badge of honor to say that, listen, he knows what it is to be out there in the hosting. Certainly, he was one of Jamaica's most prolific football player. And that football poise take him to the United States. He was also a scholar, a bright boy. And he went to Ivy League University in the States. He is one of the world-renowned medical surgeon, right? Spine surgeon. But outside of that, he is the CEO for one of the top medical companies in the world. As a matter of fact, I think he's the only black person in the United States that boasts over 43 patent and less invasive surgery equipment to deal with spinal surgery. And so we're talking about the one and only Dr. Kingsley Chin, my friend and brother. Hi, Kingsley, how are you doing? Don't tell me that after that build-up I don't have my friend, Dr. Chin?
I can hear you, Conrad.
Oh, you're hearing me clearly. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. And it's been a long time. I haven't been on your program. I haven't been on any program.
Yes.
But I've been watching, like a true citizen.
Yes.
I've been watching every event, every rally, last night I watched the event that was put on with Love, and so I'm happy to say I'm up to date with what's going on.
The event that was put on with whom?
Well, I think that was the final event last night that was put on TVJ.
Oh, you mean not last night? It was, well, I don't know if there was a repeat last night, but you're talking about Sunday, that rally down there in St. James.
No, I watched that, but last night there was an event on TVJ that was, and I.
You're even more up to date than I am, that, because I didn't watch that one. I was out in the street. I was in Ocho Rios in Northeast Center, and I didn't reach home until 2 a.m. this morning. And I can tell you that one Ryan Simpson, Dr. Ryan Simpson, he is looking extremely good in that constituency. He's going up against Matthew Samuda, the present Minister of Water. And, it seems as if something is happening, Doc. Just let me remind Jamaicans that Dr. Chin is super busy. And for him to take the time out to be talking to yours truly, the fireman, at this moment, I know that it is out of regard and respect for myself and indeed for the people of Jamaica. So, Doc, you're looking at this thing from a distance. You're overseas now. No, you're regular in Jamaica, and you have been watching everything across social media. What are you picking up, Dr. Chin?
Yeah, I think if you think about the modern era of social media, this is the first true election series, right? The 2020, we're all locked down. And so for the first time, social media is playing a prominent role. And so even though I'm back and forth every month, I don't believe that without social media, you would have the interest that you have now.
Mm-hmm.
And so on social media, we're able to listen to individual citizens express themselves. You're able to really see each candidate, in detail.
Yes.
And before, you didn't have that. You would have to go to a rally, and that's all you would get, or mass media.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, like your program, where you can have in-depth analysis, and you have social media 24/7.
Yes.
Mass media in Jamaica is way behind.
Mm-hmm.
And so
mainstream media, yes. Mm-hmm.
Mainstream media is way behind. So today, I'm able to get a really feel of how our people are thinking and what they're saying and their emotions, right?
Excellent, Doc, and that is why we twin.
Yeah.
For example, somebody like me now, we're twinning the mainstream media, which has much social media outfit that we can, because you want that kind of throughput and that reach. Because right now we're up on the Conrad OB TikTok page. I'm also up on the Make We Talk YouTube channel and various other ways streaming on the World Wide Web. So we are trying to bridge that divide, as it were.
Yes, and you're no surprises. You're always on the cutting edge. And I remember back around 2021 when I first came on your program. You in the middle of the pandemic, you're the only media platform I can recall that was willing to challenge the way the country was handling COVID. And I remember you and I talked about that.
Yes.
You also, I remember back then you were challenged. There was a period where Petrojam and the world was faced with an energy crisis. And you were forthright in talking about, maybe the way we're handling, having reserve is something I think Portia Simpson and their group had talked about, a reserve for dealing with crises and changes in energy prices. Right?
It was called the edge.
So I remember
yes?
Correct. So you were always, on the cutting edge that's what I saw. And so I felt your program was a place that I could also, talk about what's going on. Right now, you're on the cutting edge because social media is highly influential in how Jamaicans, how we express ourselves, how we can process the information, right? Because there's a lot of information going around that aren't really fact checked appropriately on mainstream media. So you have to really listen to different sources to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these information have consequences. For example, in the past, the polling, right? Don's polling would be what we'll be relying on.
Mm-hmm.
But those poll numbers, for example, when you look at the surge for the PNP after the first debate, it also corresponded to the announcement of the increase in the threshold, 3.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
So that was well received, and that was reflected in the poll. But in order to, so you can see how social media, that information can affect polling.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before, that information may not have adequately gotten enough exposure to be processed. And so a polling could be behind. And I do think it'd be interesting to see the next poll today with some of the new things, information that has been put forth.
Good. Well. Unfortunately, I think the final poll that we will receive. I don't know that we're going to get another one today, the eve of the election, but certainly there is the kind of energy, Doc, and you would have watched the various meeting. I was in Senton last night in Ocho-Rios. As a matter of fact, I was saying to my producer earlier, and I said on air that I got home about 2:00 this morning, and I can tell you that what I saw there in Ocho-Rios up to about a minute to 11 o'clock last night, nobody moved. Everybody, thousands and thousands and thousands of people was just there eating out of Dr. Ryan Simpson's hand, Doc. The first people were coming up and just saying, boy, they have never seen this in Ocho-Rios for the last 20 years or so. Because, of course, Shaini Robinson was there. Remember that this was a seat that was a bastion for the People's National Party. But Shaini basically took it over with that by-election there. And from then she had ruled the roost, so to speak. She's now deceased, and certainly Matthew is there. The people are not really warming to Matthew as they were to Shaini Robinson. So right now, that's one that we are watching in a big way. Certainly, I'm watching this one tomorrow night with eagle eyes, because what I saw there yesterday and before, but culminating yesterday with Ryan Simpson, I think something is happening there. I think Matthew have a real challenge in his hand. The short boss, as they call him, and the tall man, Ryan the Lion. So it's up for a big thing, Doc. Dr. Chin, there is a big thing out of the debate, certainly the one with the Prime Minister and the leader of the opposition. You watch all of this. Any takeaway from that debate, sir?
Well, yes. I mean, I first I have to congratulate the president of the party. He needed to go in there and look as if he could be prime minister today, and I think he achieved. I give him an A+ on that. He needed to have the information. Be able to present that information in a very confident way, and he did that. And so I think he did what he performed above and beyond any other stage he had ever been on. And he has shown growth and progress over the time since he took up the position. That debate, he needed to show certain things, and one of them is be, the prime in an image of someone who looked like they could lead the country, someone who could hold their own in a one-on-one, and he did that. I don't think there was a single. I would say because there's never perfection, so I'll be happy stopping there and give him an A+ on his performance. Mm-hmm. As far as a specific moment, I do think that, and this is as a citizen speaking, this is as a Jamaican.
Definitely.
I think the issue around his birth, I did feel that he could have been stronger there. The bottom line is, you're born in Jamaica, you shouldn't have to apologize for that, right? And I feel that the British piece of it, and how long it took him to have a Jamaican passport, he could have been stronger on that. But it's clearly something that was unfortunate for him, because you were born here, you went to school here, you've lived here, you're here. But somehow you ended up with a situation where you have an older version of your birth certificate. I have one of those. Those are the originals. And, you know, he should have changed it out to the newer version. And he should have had a passport in Jamaica, but he never needed it. So in for rational people, I don't think that issue around his passport and birth, it's not a real issue. And nobody who is born in Jamaica should ever have to be questioned on their Jamaicanness. So I have a personal problem with that. But I do feel that in a debate, that's a competition. And it's fair for the prime minister to look for weaknesses. I think the president of the party need to be more forceful on the fact that he's a born Jamaican. That shouldn't be an issue today. It's gone on too long. I don't know how much it may hurt him, but I would imagine when you're looking to score points in politics, you know, it's not about right or wrong. It's not about good or evil. You're in the business of power. And in the business of power, you have to understand that it is, you know, the nicest, most honest, most,
but
doesn't necessarily win all the time.
There's something here, Doc, that you just mentioned, because I must tell you that one of the things that people are, certainly when you listen to the people here in Jamaica and even those on social media, their takeaway from that moment when he presented his birth certificate, as people call it, so the age paper, that was a moment where persons are saying that he scored very high. And one other thing about it is the authenticity of the original, that old little red one that goes, "Cat's a boy." It shows that this is the real McCoy. That is the takeaway that some people are positing here in Jamaica, Doc.
Well, I wish I could agree with you on that, Conrad. There are two problems with that, right? The first is that you actually have to defend a fact. It's hard to prove the negative. So the fact is, the president was born in Jamaica. He is born here, right? To then have to prove it opens yourself up to a sense of that there's an issue here when there's not an issue, right? It shouldn't have to come to the debate to have to prove that. It should have been done before.
Okay.
The second problem you have is, and I have a new birth certificate. I also have the old birth certificate, right? I have a new driver's license versus the old driver's license, you know? So, especially when you're in government and you're in, you know, as a surgeon and I'm traveling a lot, there are certain things that I needed the right documentation for. You know, I even though I have an American driver's license, I felt that every time I got stopped by the police and I took out my American driver's license, there was a positive and there's a negative. And I said, you know what, man, I need to have my own driver's license in my own country. So I have my own Jamaican driver's license. So when I get stopped, I pull that out now. When I travel back and forth between the U.S. and Jamaica, when I land in Jamaica, I pull out my Jamaican passport. So unfortunately, reasonably, I can understand that when the president was traveling on his British passport, it didn't need to use a Jamaican passport. But I just think that the old version of the birth certificate didn't play well for him among the JLP.
Well, and that's the thing. He hit them hard on it because he's not seeking validity from the JLP. Is the wider Jamaican public. But
it didn't help him showing the old version.
All right,
it didn't help him at all.
All right, Doc, understand. But Doc, I want to just take it for 2 minutes. Should I, Madam Producer? What can I do? Can I just wrap with Doc to the close? And all right, I just going to wrap with you, Doc. I'm going a little bit over time, but I just want to take it for 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 more minutes. Tomorrow is the big show. The big day. What's your take on that? How are you saying? You're prepared to call it?
You know, you and I had a conversation about Trump versus Kamala, and I did call Trump. This one is tough. I would have called it for the with more clarity for the PNP about a week ago. I do think right now it's going to be, I can't call it because I do feel that the diehards on each side have come out. The mass rallies on both sides have been very strong, but those are diehards. The silent, undecided, I can't find enough information on social media. They're not there. Mm-hmm. So I don't know where they stand. I do think that the announcement by the Prime Minister in Spanish Town of doubling the minimum wage, I do think that they spoke. I watched the news conference afterwards, and TVJ asked a direct question: are you prepared to give us a number as to how much the PNP would respond to increasing their minimum wage? And they didn't give an answer. I think that is it's almost as strong as 2016 saying you're going to sleep with your dual windows open. This promise of increasing the minimum wage is I think a strong statement. It should have been matched by the PNP because that's not hard to do. It's easy to say, yes, we think that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea to increase the minimum wage. And I think the PNP should come out and say, yes, we will do the same. I don't think that's something you need to go to a vote on. You don't need to consult the people on that. Okay. So I'm concerned about, I think that could be a game changer, but I don't know. I have no indications of how it is playing, but that is such, that I was shocked when I heard that. That was, you're playing, you ever played as a kid, you're playing strip me and you think you're going to win and someone pulls out an ace. That statement was not expected. And I don't think the PNP has responded to that. And I think that could be a problem.
On the other hand,
it's not going to, I can't predict the election. I can't.
On the other hand, what do you make of, for example, a large chunk of workers, say within the hotel industry, that and others, security guards, etc., that the PNP is saying that, listen, their overtime will be tax-free and that sort of thing. How do you make that? What do you make of that? And also the 3.5 threshold that will benefit a lot of our public sector workers and large blocks of teachers. All right, Doc. We have to take the break. All right, Doc.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. All right. I have to take the break now. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for weighing in at short notice, and we watch to see what will unfold tomorrow.
Good luck.
All the best. All the best, Dr. Chin. Always a pleasure. All right, let's take off.
I want to encourage all the councillors, MPs, runners, whomever, because everybody's going to be busy tomorrow. Mm-hmm. The elderly and the vulnerable that you're going to be scraping out of their homes or the shut-ins or wherever they are to go and vote tomorrow. Mm-hmm. The ones who are in wheelchairs that you're going to lift, the ones who are amputees or the ones who are blind or the ones who are otherwise incapacitated that you're going to visit tomorrow.
You can find them tomorrow.
Make sure that after they have cast their votes and you return them to their places, their homes, you go back and look for them within that 4-year or 5-year span. Because what it is, Dennis, is that I don't like opportunists, right? Mm-hmm. And I find that a lot of our elderly are used, especially at this time.
So you want to get every vote.
You want to get every vote. But then after the vote, they are left to just perish and left by themselves.
Yeah, and there are such persons on both sides.
On both sides. It's not
no. I said that to say, because you have people who are going to scrape up and then going to vote for somebody who doesn't win.
Yeah.
But the people who scrape them up don't go look back for them.
Exactly.
Because they may never win.
Yeah.
So, all right, see you next
next 5
time.
years.
I'm saying on both sets of people who scrape up people on both sets.
Whether win, lose, or draw.
Yeah.
Right? Make sure you go and visit these persons. Bring some flour for them. Bring some grocery. Go and look for them. Probably go call
Care
them
package.
here. Care package, right?
Yeah.
Go and sit and read to them. Go and sit and talk to them. It is unconscionable and ungodly to use our elderly just for votes or use people who are vulnerable just for votes. And whether you win, lose, or draw, then you leave them by the wayside. Gotta go stop on a like Salpan, Damascus Road. Don't do it. When just as how you can find the ways and the means to go and look for them tomorrow and lift them out tomorrow, please make sure that you go and look for them after the fact because they are depending on you. Don't be a user. Don't do it because you wouldn't really want anybody to do that to your family or your loved one or even to you. A word to the wise is sufficient. Yes. No, you know. Yeah. Everybody have adrenaline. Everybody tomorrow. And then after that, Thursday now, Friday now, the people them in them house are hungry and nobody is there to see them.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
The following is paid for by the People's National Party.
So you're still not gonna choose me?
Nope.
Say no one ride on the yellow bus.
That don't sound safe.
How about 70,000 new houses?
You never do that the last time. How you gonna do it now?
15% tax on overtime?
That don't cut it.
2 Pro Box then.
Who you think you're talking to?
Here's what. Just give me a number now.
Give me a phone.
$3.5.
How will you get shirt?
Come, I love the 3.5.
Under the PNP, if you earn $3.5 million or less, you won't pay a cent in income tax. On September 3, Jamaica put your eggs beside the head.
The proceeding was paid for by the People's National Party.
Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica. Jamaicans Decide 2025. Join Make We Talk on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025 for live coverage of Jamaica's election from Negril Point in the west to Moran Point in the east. We will be with you from 7 a.m. in the morning until the polls are closed on election night. Join in the panel discussion with political analysts. We'll be live on Jam Talk Vibes internet radio station and Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. It's election night in Jamaica.
I want to encourage all the councillors, MPs, runners, whomever, because everybody's going to be there tomorrow. The elderly and the vulnerable that you're going to be scraping out of their homes or the shut-ins or wherever they are to go and vote tomorrow. The ones who are in wheelchairs that you're going to lift, the ones who are amputees or the ones who are blind or the ones who are otherwise incapacitated that you're going to visit tomorrow.
You can find them tomorrow.
Make sure that after they have cast their votes, and you return them to their places, their homes, you go back and look for them within that 4-year or 5-year span. Because what it is, Dennis, is that I don't like opportunists, right? And I find that a lot of our elderly are used, especially at this time.
So you want to get
basically said that he scored very, very heavily on that point, you know, and also when he actually said to Mr. Holness that, listen, you he has a copy for him, and he dared Mr. Holness, which he knew Mr. Holness could not present a copy of his certification and his financial filing to the IC, the Integrity Commission. And when Mr. Holness tried to say that, listen, he wasn't on the investigation, Mark recanted and said, indeed, you're on the investigation. It's kicked up to the FID, and that's a fact. Let's continue to take the calls. Hello, welcome, caller.
Yes, good morning. How are you doing?
Morning, Bongo. What on?
Yes, ma'am.
I said morning, Bongo. What's going on?
Good morning. There's a psychological term called cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, man.
Cognitive dissonance. I listened to the doc a while ago, and I get some of that, you know. All right, now let me ask you a question. A few questions here. A diplomat in Jamaica have a child born in Jamaica. A foreign diplomat. Is that child automatically a citizen of Jamaica?
Yes.
That's not correct. No, that's not
nonsense. It is correct. It is indeed correct. Similar to if you're born in the United States. Hold on, sir. Don't come here and spread falsehood. If you're born in the United, just relax, no man, and listen to me.
I'm making a point.
No, but you said something that you said something. You said something. You're not going to come here and tell lie and talk things when I go so. All right. The fact of the matter is that just similarly, Jamaica basically, that is how it operates. If you're born in Jamaica, you're a Jamaican citizen, right? You're issued with a Jamaican birth certificate, right? A Jamaican birth certificate, similarly to what obtains in the United States now, and that is why Donald Trump is trying his best to change what is called the birth law. Not to make you a citizen, but that's what it is.
I'm saying if your parents are presiding here as diplomats in Jamaica and they give birth and you're born in Jamaica, you're not automatically Jamaican.
You're automatically a citizen. Automatically a citizen. Automatically a citizen. And stop that nonsense.
All right, let me move on.
Quick.
Let me move on. Sorry, I have 5 minutes. Mr. Golden presented a document to purport to be a birth certificate. Could that document be false? Yes or no?
No, it couldn't be false because Mark Golden is certified by the Integrity Commission and the other man is not certified. Mark Golden is not in the business of falsehood, sir.
So then, let me ask this question now. So the Constitution of Jamaica, the Constitution of Jamaica says that a prime minister or any politician, because he or she does not have a certification from IC that person is 1, a criminal, 2, found guilty of something that could and that person deprive of his right to freedom and to be honest.
No, first thing to begin with, we're not in. No. Hold on. I host this program. I'm not in no witness box to answer no yes or no question from you, he, she, or the little old lady. I don't not that. You have a reason with me. You put something forward, and I'm explaining. All right. Yes, first thing to begin with. We're not talking about law here, the facts of whether it is legally he can. We're talking about the moral aspect of things. And I'm saying that remember now, it is not 1 year, it is not 2 years, it is going 4 years that the Prime Minister cannot be certified. And that must be of concern to all decent Jamaicans at home and abroad.
But the Constitution is the basic law. What do you mean by not talking about law here? What are you talking about? The Constitution is our basic law. You know that? Wow.
Let me say something to you. Sir, you're talking to a scholar on these things. The fact of the matter is that the Jamaican Constitution is what we call the compass. The compass. The compass. And that is why the Prime Minister, the man who you are supporting, that is why he found himself in so much problem, because he ignores the Constitution of Jamaica, starting with the signing of the undated letter and so on. And every time he goes into the courts basically school him and say, not so. The state of emergency that he uses to abuse so many of our young people, those things are on the ballot tomorrow, and they will go out, both parents, grandparents, and children will go out and register their protest tomorrow.
When I say this to you, sir, you say you're a scholar. I'm a teacher, and I know that the Constitution of the country is the basic law. You said the Constitution.
My friend, I am saying to you, but you're not displaying what one would want of their children to have as a teacher, because here you are, it has nothing to do. Hold on, sir. I am saying to you, let me reiterate. Don't speak over me. Let me reiterate. I'm saying to you that I am saying to you.
You're breaking. You're running. You're breaking.
Madam Producer, can we just all right, Bongo, thank you. Talk to you after the election. All right. Let's continue to take the calls. Hello. Welcome, caller. Hello? Caller? Caller? Hello? Caller? Hello? Not hearing the call there. All right, let's see if we can get calls. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Payman.
Hi, how are you doing, sir?
I'm not too bad, sir. I'm just waiting for tomorrow, you know?
Yeah, man. Guess all of us are.
Yes, I'm listening. This the short boss in Northeast Center, right?
Yes.
Is he still a British citizen?
As far as I know, yes.
So you remember when the doctor man was running? I don't remember his name right now. In Anatole Bay when Dr. Green.
Sean Alexis.
Yeah, do you remember how they crucified that man?
Yeah, yes, I recall. I remember. Mm-hmm.
So why did nobody calling for Mr. Sumuda to do what he's supposed to do and show his birth certificate, right?
Because in truth and in fact, you see, the people who understand and who are logical know that is really of no moment. And why they went after Mark Golding, it was just cheap, underhanded politics. That's exactly what it is. Just cheap, underhanded politics, because we know that being a Commonwealth citizen, even if you just ordinarily come into Jamaica and reside for a year, you're able to run as a member of parliament. And once you're a member of parliament, you can be kicked up the value chain to become prime minister.
Yes, we know that. Good. But I wonder if the other side know that. I don't understand them.
Well, you know, so I'm not even about side this, but certain people must stop try to fool the people.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's one of the things that people are rejecting. People are rejecting this notion when people are coming and behaving as if all of us are a set of buffoons.
Yes. Listen, I saw him on the man who say he bought Portland, and a lady was running away from 18 years. You do nothing for Portland. Why you coming here now and things like that? So I wonder if Mr. Portland have any receipt for bought in Portland.
Mm-hmm. He can't present those for the buses and the spend of the 1.4 billion. So how is he going to present that for Portland?
Yes, Mr. Conrad OBrian. Tomorrow, keep our blessing up, you know.
All right, take care. Bless you.
You too.
Good.
All right.
All right. That's our caller there, making its point. So let's continue to take the calls. Hello, caller? Hello? Caller? No, I'm not hearing this caller at all. Check the connection, see if that's a problem. Hello? It's a WhatsApp call, not coming through. Caller, could you please call us straight? Because something is wrong with your WhatsApp call. It's just not connecting. All right? Call us straight if you can, please. I don't know what's going on there. Hello, caller?
Yes, Mr. O'Brien.
Hi, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I was listening to you and that is the Kingsley
Chin,
yeah. Mm-hmm. And he seems to be as excited over this announcement about the 30%. Yeah, 30%, 100% increase on minimum wage.
No, that he sounds excited. I think what he's saying is that he's saying that it's it will. I think I'm getting from him that it could be problematic.
Well, I don't. Well, he said that would kind of. Well, maybe I misunderstood, but I thought he said that based on the.
So he was saying that for the politics of it. For the politics of it, the PNP could simply say, listen, we will match it. That's what he was saying. You know, he was saying that the cheap politics of it, I'm putting in the word cheap, the cheap politics of it, the PNP could just basically, they would match it without basically, because remember, you know, there is a committee that deal with these things, and what the Prime Minister is actually doing is usurping these committees that put in place to deal with these things. Because and the reason why you have this committee that deal with it, and one must understand that you have the reason why the minimum wage is such an issue is because you have such a broad cross-section of people within it. And that's why we must basically, rather than basically looking at the minimum wage in itself, where we have to go to is to grow the economy and to basically tame and control inflation. Portmore, I have to leave you there though, because I have another call that I want to take. Two others. All right? Okay. We had spoken before. All right. Let's see if we can take this. Hello, caller. Caller. Hello. Hi. Good morning, ma'am. How are you today? Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm not bad.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
not bad.
Mm-hmm.
There's hypocrisy that's going around that needs to stop. And for those who don't know, maybe you don't know either.
No, don't assume what I don't know. Just make your point, please.
He didn't have a pink slip, as you said, because you doesn't issue pink slip in those days. UE slip is different from what Victoria Jubilee issue. Victoria Jubilee gave a small pink slip. They did not give that. That's what I'm trying to clarify. That's why his was a lot bigger and it was not pink. Okay, that's what you gave back in those days. Fine. No, the hypocrisy of all of this is that he's there are dual citizen persons in our parliament, right? And I can understand you saying, okay, he's everyone. Once you're in parliament, you're in leadership because you have become a lawmaker. You're in leadership. So the hypocrisy of it all is that people like Matthew Samuda, people like Babsy Grange, right, can have dual citizenship because they're under the Commonwealth of Nations. Fine. As Mark Golding would have been if he had dual citizenship, does the same too. You understand me? So that's all hypocritical.
But I just make the point. I just made the point just now that once you are a member of the Commonwealth, even come into Jamaica and reside ordinarily for 12 months, you can offer yourself as a member of Parliament, and once you win, you stand the chance of kicked up the value chain to become the Prime Minister, because any one of the 63 who sit in Garden House can be elevated to Prime Minister. So it's a non-issue really. And it's something that is being carried by people who are playing cheap, nonsensical politics, and people are seeing through it for what it is. You understand? Why you think people who are sensible don't call for Matthew's resignation. Really, because he have no movement. He can sit in the parliament. But but members who want to take on Mark Golding, they talk nonsense. And the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, buy into that and basically allow himself to be enmeshed within the nonsense. You know, you expect leadership coming from the leader, the Prime Minister of the country. He should not find himself embroiled in this kind of fool cascas. Don't make any sense. Go ahead, ma'am. Hello? She's gone? All right. All right. All right. It seems as if we lost that caller there. We have 6 minutes going up to 12 o'clock. Of course, you're listening to News Talk 93 FM and 93.3 on the FM band. We also stream live via News Talk 93 FM.net. We are also up on the Conrad OB TikTok page, and we're up there and Make We Talk YouTube channel. That's the Jeffrey Tavares Make We Talk YouTube channel. We also stream live on the www.newstalk93fm.net. Go on, download our News Talk 93 FM app by going to the Google or Apple Play Store. It's indeed the eve of the general election, right? Tomorrow, the 3rd of September, the people of Jamaica will go to the polls. We saw on Friday where the special workers, include the police officers, one-day police, and indeed election day workers, they voted. Some of them did not get the opportunity to vote on Friday because of whatever reason. We understand that some police officers who are on interdiction, they were deprived of voting, and tomorrow they would be able to vote, so they should go to the polling station and basically ensure that they exercise their franchise. Also, election day workers who weren't able to vote vote on Friday, you can vote come tomorrow. I know someone who is very close to me. She's an election day worker and she was unable to vote on Friday, so she will be ensuring that she casts her vote bright and early tomorrow. All right? For those of you who don't have your voter's ID, remember now that you can go to the polling station, you'll be asked a few questions and so on, and you'll be able to vote. Another thing, some people are saying some employers are trying to intimidate their workers to say that, listen, we will know who you vote for. Darn nonsense, not no gossip, right? Once the foil is tore from that ballot, it cannot be traced to you, all right? And we urge you to go out and do the right thing. I want to say thanks to every person who joined us this morning. All of you who join us, all our callers, our listeners, and the various platforms, want to say thanks to you. I want to say thanks to my lovely producer, Tanya Richards, for continuing to producing a wonderful program. To Dr. Chin, who called in, I want to say thanks to him as well. And indeed, all of you, and my friend and colleague Bruce is right here in studio with us as well. Thanks. Join me again tomorrow. We'll have a special edition of your program, Straight Up.
The preceding hour was brought to you by
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk